Hello and welcome back to another World of Warcraft Classic video. In this video we'll cover my top 20 tips and tricks for speed leveling in Classic WoW. Keep in mind these are made with only speed leveling in mind, so efficiency is key. In this video I will also include 8 pre-tips, as I call them, which are things you can do before Classic comes out, and things you can do outside of the game to prepare yourself for speed leveling. So if you're planning on speed leveling in Classic, either at launch or later on, this video could be of some use to you. So without further ado, let's just get into it. 8 pre-tips, aka tips before you start playing. First off, set your game to windowed mode. This way you can easily alt-tab to Wowhead, YouTube or Google in case you get stuck somewhere and need information. Windowed full screen also works and is pretty much recommended for the full gameplay experience, but the point is you need to be able to alt-tab fast. Download the add-ons you feel like you need. Certain add-ons can potentially help you level faster and provide more smooth gameplay, but some people do prefer to play with the vanilla user interface and without any add-ons, which is also fine. If you do want add-ons however, a couple good ones are Titan Bar for experience per hour, Questy, Auctioneer, Auto Repair, Cartographer, Fast Mail, Easy Dismount, Informant, and Turn-In. Research your class's ability progression. Understand which abilities you get and when you get them. Plan which abilities are crucial for your leveling process and which ones you can skip in order to save gold for that sweet mount at level 40. There is also an add-on for this which we'll cover in a video a couple of days before release where we talk about add-ons for Classic. Research where important NPCs are. Class trainers, inns, repair, weapon trainers, vendors for your needs, food, drink, arrows, even weapon vendors from level 1 to 10 might be good to know about, and etc. Choose your race wisely, consider matching racials with your class, and also think about which race will be the most popular at launch, as that starting area will also be the most populated and the most difficult one to level up in. Also understand that some racials will be better for DPS, some will be better for movement speed, reputation, and more. Research talent trees. Know which talents you want to choose. You don't want to waste a single second thinking about which talent to choose when you're leveling. Research stat priorities and effective leveling gear as well. Research the pros and cons of your class. For example, some classes have low survivability and low self-healing and can therefore benefit greatly from picking up first aid. You also have other factors like movement speed, gear dependency, and a few others. Understand your class rotation, which ability to engage with, when to use which ability, which ones are too mana intensive, and etc. It is important to know as much about your class as possible, so rotation and which abilities are the best is absolutely vital information for speed leveling. For example, a hunter's best ability is auto shot, so micromanaging your auto shot timer is absolutely key, and throwing in some other damaging abilities in between auto shots for optimization is also helpful. Now onto the top 20 tips and tricks for speed leveling. Number 1 is use cooldowns whenever they're ready. This will make you able to kill stuff faster, which is pretty obvious, but not everyone uses their cooldowns as often as they can. Number 2 is use your racials, especially if they help you with damage or survivability, and don't save them for bosses, just use them whenever they're up. Number 3 is use your health and mana as a tracker to track your efficiency. If you're always at 100% mana or health, you're obviously not pushing your combat efficiency, and you can obviously pull more mobs in one go. Number 4 is stay productive. When you're not questing, kill something, keep up the grind. Sometimes grinding can actually be better than questing, especially if the quest mobs are overpopulated and you have to compete for tags. Number 5 is using a grinding versus leveling guide, or knowing when to grind and when to quest. Generally speaking, in the levels of 1 to 30, questing supplemented by grinding is faster. In the level range of 30 to 48, grinding supplemented by questing is faster. Between level 48 and 60, questing supplemented by grinding is faster. Number 6 is no dungeons or primary professions. While dungeons can provide you with decent gear that may help you kill stuff faster, questing usually gives you the gear necessary. Professions does not give experience and is in most cases a waste of time when it comes to the speed leveling, and the whole argument about dungeons can actually be countered by a full team grinding dungeons together, as that has proven to give great experience per hour, but it does have its own downsides and upsides, which we'll cover in a later video. Number 7 is that from level 1 to 10 you can use graveyards as a spawn point. You don't get resurrection sickness before level 10, but your armor still suffers durability loss. But since it's this low level gear, it doesn't cost anything or much to repair, plus you get new gear constantly from level 1 to 10. Number 8 is make good use of your Hearthstone. If you're in a questing hub and you know you will be there for a while, set your Hearthstone there so you can effectively get back to your quest givers when Hearthstone is off cooldown. Number 9 is always keep your character moving. Use the downtime between auto attacks to move your character to where you need to be, whether this is back to your quest NPC or towards the next mob you're going to kill. This also keeps you out of the mob's hitbox and you're basically kiting it. Number 10 is before you make your primary character, make an alt character, a bank character or a storage character you can send any items of value to. This character will then function as your bank, so mail items to that character instead of going back to the bank. This saves a lot of time. Number 11 is to worry less about upgrading your armor and more about upgrading your weapon. This does apply more to physical damage dealers, but still, look out for quests or mobs that can drop a weapon that you need. Number 12. Use macros. For example, if you're playing a hunter, having a macro that both casts Hunter's Mark and also makes your pet start attacking the target will benefit you greatly. Number 13, if possible, take talents that increase your movement speed. Movement speed is key since you don't get a mount until level 40 and you'll be running around a lot. Number 14 is plan your leveling route in advance, know which quests you're going to skip in each zone, and know when you're going to grind instead of questing and vice versa. Have a plan. Questing only becomes better than grinding if you can complete the quests efficiently, so keep that in mind. Number 15. Level in the least populated zones. A quick example of this is Westfall versus Darkshore. Where do you think there will be most people? Pick a leveling route where you will meet the least amount of players, thus making you more free to quest or grind freely. Number 16. If you use mana, make sure to ask a mage for a couple of stacks of conjured water as you level, as mana will be a resource you need. Also, picking up first aid for self-healing purposes might be a good idea. Number 17. Choose a level efficient class. Personally, I recommend just going with any class you want to play, but when it comes to speed, factor in damaging abilities, both single target and AoE, and also movement speed. Basically, how fast can you kill stuff and how fast can you get from A to B. Number 18. Auto-loot. Set an auto-loot key and auto-loot everything. You don't want to spend unnecessary time deciding whether or not to loot anything. You should always loot everything anyway for gold making reasons, so just have auto-loot enabled, please. There are also add-ons that can help you skip the loot window, which we'll talk about in a later video. Number 19 is avoid world PvP if possible. Don't engage in world PvP, not even for a grind spot. If you start killing him, he might come back to kill you. He might even bring a friend and boom, you get spawn killed. Try to avoid that. Number 20 is make a macro to ask people to group for a quest or to ask a mage for water, important messages you know you will be sending a lot. For example, make a macro saying, yo, you wanna do this quest together, or hey, could you conjure me some water? This will save you seconds, maybe even minutes, depending on how fast you usually type and how often you would ask people for this. Maybe you need help with quite a few quests, simply have that macro on a keybind and press it. Every minute you can spare is important. And that's it, my top 20 tips and tricks for speed leveling in classic WoW. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you found it helpful. I tried to keep this video somewhat short and to the point, so look out for more in-depth leveling guides and a lot of gold making guides in my classic WoW playlist, or basically just my recent uploads. If you have anything to add, or if you feel like I missed something, let me know in the comment section below. If you want to interact with me about anything WoW related, feel free to join my Discord server, which is linked in the description. And until next time, peace.